What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be doing a how-to video on basically how to approach a Pokemon battle, or more so how to use Team Preview. Team Preview is a very important factor in battling. It shows you what your opponent has versus what you have, and it shows you how to use those Pokemon, and I'll be explaining why. Or how rather. I have Pinsir, Conkeldurr, Rotom Wash, Thundurus, Latios, and Aegislash on my team. My opponent, Crashing Boom Bang, has Celebi, Charizard, Latios, Thundurus, Aegislash, and Sylveon. Now, first thing I noticed, I'm just going to be breaking it down from what I noticed. My opponent only has one Pokemon that can potentially get up Stealth Rocks. That is Celebi. So I have that in mind. I do have Defog, though, on my Latios. And on top of that, we can notice right off the bat that my opponent has nothing for Mega Pinsir. Pinsir comes in, goes for return, and gets a kill. He has only one switch in, basically, for return, which is Thundurus. He might have Aegislash, but Aegislash can't KO me back with any attack, and I can go for Earthquake in the following turn. So Pinsir is definitely going to be very important in this battle. It's actually one of my win conditions. Now, what a win condition is, it's how you're going to win the battle, what you're going to do to win the battle, and that's why Team Preview is so important. So, like I said, Mega Pinsir, definitely one of my win conditions right here. Let's see what actually Mega Pinsir can set up on. It can set up on Celebi because it can live any attack, barring like a Ancient Power, which Celebi does not run. It can also set up on Aegislash as well as Sylveon. So my win condition is setting up on one of those three Pokemon and plowing through my opponent's team. Now, like I said before, my opponent does have a Thundurus. Thundurus has priority T-Wave. It's an electric type. It's faster than Mega Pinsir. It can hit me with T-Bolt and knock me out. So my first and foremost priority is actually taking out this Thundurus, or weakening it to the point where I can go for quick attack from my Mega Pinsir and knock it out. So in order to do so, I do have Conkeldurr, Assault Vest, so I can take that. That's definitely going to be important in this battle because I can take any hit from his Thundurus. And I also have Latios as well as Aegislash, which can sponge hits not too well, but they can take them and retaliate back with stab, strong attacks. So I do, however, want to take into account that my opponent does have a Charizard. I don't know if it's Charizard X or Charizard Y, both of which can be problems. So the way I'll be playing around that in this battle, I'm not going to be showcasing the battle, but I'm just showcasing my thought process when doing Team Preview. The way I'll be playing around that is that I will not allow this to set up. If it's Charizard X, excuse me, I will be just pounding it with attacks. I do have Prankster T-Wave though, so I'm not entirely worried about Charizard. It's more so switching into it than fearing it to set up. But that's basically one of the biggest threats on his team. Sylveon, not really a threat because I do have Aegislash. Aegislash is annoying. His Aegislash is definitely annoying. I don't have solid switch-ins. I have Assault Vest Conkeldurr. I have Rotom, which can take hits, but not too well. And of course, I can retaliate back with Knockoff, Pain Split, Will-O-Wisp, Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, respectively. So I do have my win condition, which is Pinsir. Team matchup is looking nicely in my favor, but I can't be cocky with that. I can't play recklessly because he can easily destroy me with his Aegislash if he plays it well, as well as his Charizard, because my switch-ins to it are limited. So that's how you use Team Preview right there. That's just a broad example. Let me break it down even more. You find out your win condition by looking at both of your teams. You assess what potential movesets. Because Celebi is the only Pokemon on my opponent's team that can have Stealth Rocks, I'm expecting it to have Stealth Rocks. Most Stealth Rock Celebis are U-turn variants. They run a Stab, Grass move, maybe Recovery, Stealth Rock U-turn, and might not have anything to hit anything else. Considering Keldeo is kind of a weakness to his team. Not really though, because he does have Sylveon. He might not have HP Fire or anything along those lines. Charizard, X or Y, always a threat, so you always got to be careful about that. Latios, I'm not really too worried because I do have Aegislash, and this Aegislash has Pursuit, so I bring it in on a Draco, and then I can Pursuit Trap it, and it's dead. So that's how I'm gonna play around Latios. Thundurus, always a problem, but I do have Conkeldurr with an Assault Vest to sponge up any hit, and it's not gonna be 2-hit KO'd by anything barring like HP Flying. Like I said, Aegislash is a threat, so I want to be able to play around this. And Sylveon, really not worried about it because I do have Aegislash. But that Sylveon is one of the things that's walling my Conkeldurr. So now that we've seen Team Preview and how I want to win with Pinsir, just to make that clear. Also, Conkeldurr can also come through if I get rid of Sylveon. We're going to want to think of what we can lead off with that will put me in the best possible position. Now, if I lead off with Pinsir right off the bat, and he leads off with Thundurus, Latios, Charizard, basically any of those three, I either lose him on or I get a lot of HP is lost on any Pokemon because of that. If he leads off with Charizard, I have to predict what set he is or go into a possible switch-in, which will more than likely be Latios because that would be the safest switch-in, and I'll lose a lot of my HP to any hit, even a resisted hit. If he leads off with Latios and I lead off with Pinsir, not too bad, but like I said, I want to try and save Pinsir for late game because it is my win condition. So, looking at his team, Conkeldurr is actually an amazing lead, simply because it beats Celebi, it beats Thundurus, it beats Aegislash. It won't necessarily die to an attack from Latios unless it is Choice Specs, because Choice Specs Psyshock will always knock out Conkeldurr, but Life Orb Psyshock does like 85% min, 100 something% max. And the only lead that Conkeldurr has a poor matchup versus is Sylveon, but because I do have a great pivot switch into Sylveon, a great switch into Sylveon, which is Aegislash, Conkeldurr is looking like my best lead, simply because I lose the least from leading off with this Pokemon, and the one lead that, sorry to be using lead so much, but the one Pokemon that can beat this lead, I have a great switch into it, so that's why I'll more than likely be leading off with Conkeldurr. And like I said, this is basically a basic way to assess team preview. Obviously, I broke this down, it took a little while, but this will start to come instinctively as you continue to battle. It'll come just like that. When I do team preview, when I look at a team, you're able to see weaknesses right off the bat, what you can do to win, how many hazards you can set up, and then what you can do with that. So that's basically how to use team preview in a nutshell. If you have any comments or questions, I will definitely answer them or look at them and see what you guys got to say. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I might have a Pokemon Showdown live to the top up today. And yeah, I'll be doing more videos like this. So until next time, guys, later.